You probably don't want a traditional relationship, but you think you do because you're so intimately aware that what kind of exists right now or what's going on, it's just not working. So you go, I want a traditional relationship. So let's look at what is a traditional relationship. And let's look at it as timelines. Let's take 1950 as a timeline and 1970 and modern day. 1950, let's focus on the States. Canada's culture is similar enough. There was polarity. Men went to work. Men provided. Men were leaders. Men had much higher testosterone today. That's a verifiable thing. That's not like bro science. There was clear gender roles. A guy, you can say it for better or worse, he expected to come home. Dinner was on the table. Her job was taking care of kids, managing the house. Here's what we didn't have in a quote unquote traditional 1950s relationship. She didn't really have much of a voice. She probably had to use manipulation a lot more. She didn't have a sense of independence in the 1950s. She probably didn't have that much freedom. What didn't he have? He probably wasn't in touch with that fun, playful kid that lives inside of him. He probably didn't do inner child healing, right? He probably didn't really understand that much about his own heart or his emotions. Maybe a little bit, but not much. We get to stage two, which is like 1970s America. 1970s America, women found their independence, or were finally given it, however you want to say it. They were given more rights. They went out to the workplace. They burned their bras, literally, metaphorically. They had a sense of independence and freedom, and they could be on their own. Men grew their hair long. Men wear, I don't know, tie-dye clothes, hippie clothes, whatever you want to call it, and found their artistic expression, their feelings, worked with drugs, psychedelics, could feel things. They embraced their feminine. So here, polarity, clear gender roles. There wasn't a conversation about it, but it was clear, which actually provides a level of certainty and safety. Here, embracing the opposite energy, assuming it was feminine women striking out into the workplace, embracing their masculine, assuming it was masculine men that now are getting in touch with their feminine side. This stage, this level 2, stage 2, is abso-fucking-lutely exhausting. I talk to you guys, maybe not on YouTube as much, but if you're watching this on Instagram, I talk to you people. You tell me things. I get a lot of texts, phone calls. This is, and I use this word very intentionally, fucking exhausting, especially for the women. What happened from here to here? Divorce. As guys, we grew up with moms that were hurt, or grandma was hurt and said, we want you to be a good boy. We want you to be kind. We want you to understand women, even though 97% of us as men or women don't really understand the opposite gender. It's not like we got a class in that. So men became more receptive to women's feelings, which is a great thing, a necessary skill set. Women became stronger and independent. And now we live in a time where we're exhausted here, where guys maybe have opened their hearts, or maybe they've confused the wisdom that lives in their heart with their emotions from drinking too many cacao ceremonies or too much yoga, and those things aren't wrong by any means, but not striking out and creating something that challenges us, of we're here to give, of we're here to make a difference as a man. And women, they feel exhausted from having to work. A lot of women don't want to work full time. And in a day in 2025, it's nonsensical that you actually have to say that or give like this isn't politically correct. A lot of women don't want to fucking work, and that's good. Women's nervous systems, women's bodies don't handle the stress the same way. Let me say it a different way. Let's look at work or striking out in the workplace, building something is going to war. Women don't make the same warrior. they have every right to be a warrior and they can slay dragons. Most of them, and some behind closed doors, confess that I'm exhausted. I'm fucking burned out, man. I remember when one of my friends said, I want to find a guy who treats me right. I want to be home and take care of the kids and bake chocolate chip fucking cookies. She's saying that in tears. And if this is the first time you're hearing it as a guy, talk to a woman who will be honest with you. And if you're a woman watching this, you may be watching it together, tell the truth. Because as men and women, we can do little things, sometimes big things, to subtly please each other. Or I don't want to hurt the other person's feelings. And without truth, we'll be dying inside. This stage is so necessary. It's necessary. If we stayed here, we're like one-dimensional. Here, we're two-dimensional. What comes next? Wouldn't we like to live in a 3D reality while we're here? I know maybe you've done a bunch of Joe Dispenza meditations, so you're in the 5D. We're not talking about that right now, even though I love Joe Dispenza as well. But like to live in a different place, in the third level. The third level, simply put, is integration. Most women, and again, it might be behind closed doors, they want a man who will lead. Do you want to say they want a man who will lead them? You could say it that way. I'm personally not a fan of the language of, I want a woman that'll submit to me. A lot of times that's coming from a lot of insecure guys who have control issues. However, what women really want, guys, is to look at a guy and who he says he is and how he moves through the world. He's the same person. I don't know about you guys. Fuck. Ask me how I know. I'm guilty as shit as this, of having this big vision, saying these things, doing 20% of them, or trying to juggle it like it looks like I'm doing all of them, and then realizing I didn't have the internal strength or leadership or peer group to follow through. Actually, it doesn't really matter. I didn't follow through. A woman can't feel safe in that. What women are craving, what the world is craving, is leadership, is the truest version of you. And not because I know so much, because why the fuck would you want to live a lie? And I was just talking to my buddy Richie today or yesterday. He's here visiting me down here. There's no one who can bullshit us better than us. No one. So let's get to the third stage with a quick recap. Stage 1, traditional values. Also, clarity around what we're supposed to do. They didn't talk about it, but they knew I'm supposed to do this, I'm supposed to do that. Reverse gender roles. Everyone is either stressed out, pissed off, frustrated, or happy for the most part, from what I found. People have, in the stage we're in, started in 1970s, maybe a little before, into 2025, people are dying. And I'm sure there would be no incentive for the government to want to push some of this to have double the tax dollars. So it could just be a coincidence, but moving on. Stage 3. If you're a guy watching this, leadership. To look yourself in the mirror and know, man, I've had this part of me as a guy, I've had this part of me as a guy. Which one do I want to pick? That's not the right question. The real answer is the unified self. Integrating who you are. Confronting yourself. Healing stuff, even if you think that makes you weak to heal stuff. Some of us as men are walking around with metaphorical, emotional bullet wounds that are gushing blood. And we're coping with porn. We're coping with money. We're coping with a new car. We're coping with the next girl on Tinder. We're coping with weed, even if it's organic. We're coping with alcohol. We're coping with pills, whether you got a prescription or not. And we're in pain. When we feel like we're at war with ourselves, when we feel like we have to be split. Part of us wants this, part of us wants that. That's a normal human experience on some level. What's not normal or what's not ideal is to stay there. If we constantly feel that part of us is going this way, part of us is going that way. Excuse me. Women want a guy that what he says and what he does is same. He's consistent. Consistency equals safety. A woman needs to feel safe. They navigate the world wildly different than men. They have safety concerns, physical safety concerns, sexual safety concerns, emotional safety concerns, decision-making safety concerns. So can they trust their partner? Is he gonna make a bad financial decision because he's reckless or because he's back on the bottle or whatever it is? Women want this third stage guy who's doing his work, who knows who the fuck he is, who has a plan for the future. And if you've watched this video for 11 minutes so far, you're a different dude. Something in you knows that creating a relationship, not like your parents, not like your grandparents, not like your aunt and uncle, is like a divine fucking right of something in you, not me talking to you on a fucking YouTube video, something in you knows you're here that's called to do. Something in you fucking knows. And you've had your pain and you've seen shit as a kid, and something in you says, I know I'm supposed to create a family, and it's not supposed to be like what I saw, what I grew up, what my cousins have. I know there's something in me. I can't figure it out. I don't have all the answers, but something in me is calling me to rise. You don't want a traditional relationship. You don't want to go back in time. If we're evolved beings, they're growing. This is traditional. This is 1970 to 2025. You want to go higher. The only thing that will really set you free is telling the truth to yourself, surrounding yourself with the right people, and rising to a new level of leadership as a man. Otherwise, we get stuck in one of these two, bouncing back and forth. And what I can tell you, gentlemen, I can tell you with absolute certainty and a big fucking shit-eating grin of smile on my face, this level and just striving for it, it's not about achieving it or it's an end goal. That could be another trap of us as men. But striving for it and showing up day after day, there's not as many dudes up there. So you know what that means? When you go on a first date, you seem pretty different. I wish you the best on your journey. I don't know what's next for you, what you're gonna choose to do, but I know you need to do something. Because if you don't have this and you're not moving towards it, I mean, don't listen to me. You know you need to do something. I invite you, and better than that, I challenge you, do something to move up to that next level and unlock a whole new reality of what's just waiting for you. See you soon.